Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel, Moxie DIY in Java. I'm Michelle. Today's video is all about Paris. To start this DIY, we're going to age all of the containers. For this one, I'm just going to age it along the rim and the bottom and the seams, and we're going to make it look like it's been rusted or a little bit of patina. I ended up not using the gray paint on this one. I used brown and black, and I think it turned out pretty cool. I'm just using the dabbing motion. That seemed to be the best way to apply it, and it looks a little more natural, and we're just going to complete the whole thing. I got the idea for these DIYs from the Paris flower markets, and I noticed that they had a lot of galvanized things and a lot of terracotta, and so I decided to make it my own. Now we're going to age the terracotta pots, and if you've ever seen a terracotta pot that's been out for a little while, not antique, just it's been out for a while, it's got white on it in certain spots, not all over. So that's what I'm going for here. You see me dabbing it on here, but it turned out that swirling the dabber actually did a better job than the dabbing. Now I'm just aging the white a little bit, and I'm using a combination of gray, brown, and white. Almost like a khaki color, and I'm making sure to do the flicking motion because I don't want big blobs of that color on the white. I just want it to blend in and make it look a little like it's been sitting out for a while. Now for the fun part. These are just flowers I had in my stash. They were clippings from Dollar Tree stems and other stems that I don't know where I got them from. But I just used my stash for this, and this is a really good project for that. If you've got flowers that you've got small clippings of or just little bits of, make this craft because it literally took up every single one of the flowers that I had left over, and I love how it turned out. It's so colorful and so cheerful. And I didn't use any hot glue, so I can reuse them if I need to. And I don't show it here, but I do use the moss stones that Dollar Tree sells. I didn't want to go through the hassle of using Spanish moss because it gets everywhere. But the moss stones turned out really cute with this. Now for the bouquets, I'm going to use this wrapping paper that looks like book script and also craft paper. And literally all I'm doing is cutting squares and then putting full stems inside. So here I'm just going to make a pocket for the stems, and then I'm going to roll it into a cone. It's as easy as that. And then I could have used tape, but that would have required me to get up. So I just used hot glue to seal the cone. Okay, to start this DIY, we're going to begin with the large plate holders. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the permanent glue and the hot glue along these hinges, and then that will attach to a dowel in the center, and that's what will give us our sturdiness for the chandelier. And we're just going to set them up so that way they resemble an asterisk. I was inspired to make this by Lulu Sapphire, and I will include her video down below so you can see how she makes it as well. Using all Gorilla Glue today, so we're going to use the permanent glue on part of it and then the hot glue on the other part, so that way we get that immediate and long-term holds. And making sure to get glue on every single hinge so that way all of them are attached to the dowel. So I get the proper placement. I'm placing the dowel into the permanent glue, so that way I have a little bit of it on the dowel and I know where it is. And then I'm placing the hot glue where the permanent glue is not. I hope that makes sense. And then I'm just going around and adding hot glue where I feel like it needs it. Now we're going to repeat the steps with the small plate holders. These are appetizer plates from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to use these to hold our candles. Once again, we're going to be using the permanent and the hot glue for this. Now when you do this, make sure you don't put the hot glue on the permanent glue because it completely negates what the permanent glue is going to do. It's like a chemical reaction and it won't work. So make sure that you put the hot glue next to the permanent glue, not on top. Now with these little plates, I'm making sure that a flat edge is facing towards the inside of the chandelier, so that way they all have the same angles. And once again, we'll repeat with the small one. Now I've painted both of them white, and the reason I did this was I got my inspiration from Bridgerton. If you've seen one of my latest videos, I am very much into Bridgerton. And the chandelier at the Duke and Duchess's ball was white, and I loved how that looked. So we are using a plant hanger and painting that white to complete the look, and that way we can hang it. Now that everything looks good, we're going to trim this dowel, and then I'm going to place some hot glue on top to really lock this chain in place. And that is it for the top one. Now the bottom one. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to place a disc between the top one and the bottom one. It's just a piece of cardboard, and we're doing this so that way the top one has a platform to sit on. Now I'm making sure that every single part of this top tier is touching that disc with hot glue. I just really want to make sure that that is not going to go anywhere. And once it dried, I painted it white. And here it is. Everything is painted white and is looking really good. Now we're going to add all of the bling. I got this from Amazon, and I will be sure to link it down below. What I love about this chandelier is that you can make it boho, you can make it glam. Here I chose to make it glam with the crystals, but you could use wooden beads and make it your own. You could even leave it as is, and I think it would still be equally pretty. Now I'm going to add more dangles to the bottom center. I am so pleased with how this turned out. Now make sure you're using electric votives. I have ones that I got from Amazon. I will have these listed below as well. And these are awesome because they are a 6-hour timer. I turn them on once and then they turn themselves off and on every day at the same time. It's really beautiful. This video is part of the Meet Me in Paris playlist hosted by Brenda of Monner's Market and Annie of Indie Annie Jones. And both these ladies are so fun and so nice. And I hope that you will go check out their channels, which I will have listed in the description box. And I will also have the playlist listed in the description box. All of the videos are going to be Parisian or French inspired, so be sure to check it out. This DIY is also featured in a Christmas time DIY, and I will have that linked up above if you're interested. But I figured it was perfect for a French-inspired playlist because it is a personal charcuterie board. So all I'm using is a bamboo cutting board from the Dollar Tree and metal objects to help me get the lines right. So for this, I'm using a thermos and a ruler. The wood burning tool I got from Michael's for about $15. Now I'm not pressing the wood burning tool hard into the wood to indent, I'm just trying to burn it. This is a double-sided charcuterie board, so we have the savory side, which will have the spread, nuts, carbs, cheese, fruit, chocolate, cheese, and then meat. And then on the reverse side will be the sweet side. If you are liking what you're seeing, I hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel and liking this video. I typically put out one video a week, and I hope that you'll join the Moxie family. Now for the sweet side, we have 2 areas for spreads, fruit, chocolate, cookies, more chocolate, nuts, and jelly beans. Now to create the words on the boards, I am using my scorch marker and my heat gun, and this is a really cool thing. The heat activates the chemicals in the scorch marker to create the burned look. Now, I always do this on my stovetop because this is heat proof. Once we're done with this, I recommend going over it with a food-safe varnish, just so that way it protects the wood and also all of the writing and the wood burn. Now I'll show you how I will set up these charcuterie boards. Now time for some cafe. I am drinking the Spring Blend by Starbucks, and I'm going to enjoy it with an almond Danish from Costco. And this charcuterie board is going to be my lunch for later. A long time ago, in a kingdom not so far away, I used to be a ballerina. So this particular DIY is near and dear to my heart. So I'm just going to use this frame that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby and this contact paper, which I got at the Dollar Tree. I think it's really pretty. And I'm just going to create some wall art of some old pointe shoes, which of course ballet was created in France. I danced from the age of 6 until 19, and I still love ballet. These particular pointe shoes were ones that I wore for a performance, and if you are in the know of pointe shoes, they are Gainer Minden's, and I realize that not all of you will have pointe shoes on hand. So this would actually be a really cool idea for maybe some baby shoes or some other type of item that is not shoes, but just a way to display something that is really special or important. Throughout my dancing career, I danced in various performances. I always danced in the Nutcracker every year, so that's why the Nutcracker will always hold a very, very special place in my heart. And favorite ballets that I danced in were actually Les Sylphides and A Midsummer Night's Dream. And then of course I danced in the corps and several soloist roles, and it was just a very great time in my life. Ballet is not for everybody, but I loved it, and the friendships that I made through it and the things that I learned not only about ballet in general but also about myself as a person were ones that I would never trade. So to create the top bow here, I'm making 2 slip knots, and then I'm putting 1 slip knot through the loop of the other. And then I'm going to glue that down and then fluff it, and it will create a really pretty bow. Don't forget to check out the playlist. Everything will be French inspired, but I would love to know what your favorite DIY from this video is. It's a toss-up for me. I love the chandelier. It's hanging in our bathroom right now, and I love the glow and just the look of it. It's very bougie. But I also really love the point shoes. Again, it's that nostalgic remembrance of some great times in my life. I would love to know which one is your favorite. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I hope that I will see you in the next video, and until then, take care.